legacy and the leverage. Why Shedeur Sanders is a different kind of NFL asset. The NFL draft is a business. And on draft day, players are for a brief time assets to be acquired. They're scouted, analyzed, and evaluated not just for their on-the-field talent, but for their perceived value to a multi-billion-dollar corporation. This is the stage where a player's narrative is stripped down to its basic form. What can he do for the team? But what happens when a player enters the system with the narrative already firmly in place? What happens when a young black quarterback is not a blank slate, but a meticulously curated brand, complete with a powerful African-American father figure who has already reshaped the game? This is the thought-provoking story of Shedeur Sanders. His journey to the Cleveland Browns was not just about his arm talent or his pocket awareness. It was about a power struggle between the NFL's desire to control and the player's ownership of his own legacy. From the start, the conversation around Shedeur was different. He was not just the son of a Hall of Famer, but the star quarterback for his father, Deion Coach Prime Sanders, at both Jackson State and Colorado. This unique dynamic gave him a platform and a public image rarely seen at the college level. He had a lucrative name, image, and likeness NIL valuation of $6.5 million, with deals from major brands like Nike, Gatorade, and Beats by Dre, according to On3 Sports. This financial success before ever playing a down in the NFL put him in an unprecedented position of leverage. The NFL, an institution built on hierarchy and tradition, is not always comfortable with this level of pre-established player power. As one NFL executive told Athlon Sports, it's not about being a brand, it's about being a teammate and earning a job. This sentiment, echoed by other anonymous scouts and coaches, reveals a discomfort with a player who doesn't fit the typical mold of a humble, eager rookie. Critics point to his brash and arrogant personality, his confidence, and his decision to opt out of certain interviews as red flags. However, these so-called red flags are the very things that make him too legendary. His swagger isn't arrogance, it's the self-assuredness that comes from a lifetime of tutelage by a man who taught him to understand his value in a world that often wants to diminish it. He wasn't misreading the room, he was entering a new one with a different set of rules. For a young black man in a high-stakes, high-pressure environment, that self-worth isn't a flaw, it's a form of armor. He's not just a quarterback, he's a brand, a business, and a legacy in motion. He didn't come to the NFL to be molded. He came to continue building on a foundation that was already set. Shedeur's story is a microcosm of a larger shift in the sports world. Player power is on the rise, and the ability of athletes to cultivate their own brands and control their own narratives is more important than ever. He may not have been a top draft pick, but by standing on his own conviction, he's paving a new road for future generations of athletes who will be able to enter the league not just as an asset to be controlled, but as a legend in their own right.
Deion Sanders is the greatest athlete I've ever been around.
It was always a big event if Deion Sanders came into the room.
Nobody loved the spotlight more. Make a way for black style. Make a way for black men to do what they do.
And bringing that to the table and not being apologetic for it, I don't think it had been seen yet. If you just play your heart out and give it your all, they gonna ride with you, man.
This is NFNC Sports News, and we're just getting started.